Morning, everybody. Sitting up here at my cottage in the rain. See the rain dripping off there? And the wind. And it's chilly. It's damp. This is one kind of a day. And I kind of get the feeling maybe that's what the psalmist felt like whenever he or she penned this Psalm 116. It's one that it's a beautiful psalm, and that the person is exploding in their love for God because God has done so many wonderful things. I love the Lord because He's heard my voice and my supplications, and it goes on with 4 or 5 other reasons why this person just loves the Lord, because especially they've been delivered from the land of death. I mean, they feel like they were dead anyhow. You delivered me from Sheol, the writer says. Sheol being that place where you go when you die. And it's where everybody goes when we die. In the Older Testament, there's no talk about it being a land of punishment or anything like that. It's just when you're dead, you go to the depths. But God's delivered me from that. And it's a kind of a really happy psalm in the midst of like the cruddy rain that's falling down and maybe had been a part of your life. So read it in that context. This Psalm 116 is part of what is known as the Egyptian Hallel, where there's a whole grouping of psalms here that are used especially during the time of Passover in the Jewish community, as they do speak of quite a bit the tough times the people had in Egypt, and then now they're being delivered under Moses, by the hand of God to the promised land. Yeah, we're getting away from these nasty Egyptians. This is kind of good. Now we feel great. And if we were to read the rest of the psalm, maybe I should say this first of all. If you're reading this in the Greek version of the Older Testament, the Septuagint, they actually divide this psalm into 2 separate psalms. So where we end at verse 9, that's the end of the first of those psalms, and then it picks up verse 10 with the second part. But the second part really is a result of the first part, in which the person announces the reason for their praising God for what God has done for them. And now here's what we do. We bring our whole selves to bring our sacrifices, to make our vows before God, because indeed we were living in this land of death. We were dead people walking, so to speak. And now we're fully alive again, fully alive. There's a verse in here that also makes this a psalm that we as Christians use, particularly on Maundy, Thursday. And this goes into the second part of the psalm that's not our reading this week, but it's a good one. We have to look at it. What shall I return to the Lord for all His bounty to me? This is verse 12 and 13. I will lift up the cup of salvation and call on the name of the Lord. Lifting up the cup. Don't we lift up the cup whenever we celebrate Holy Communion? So it is just a very beautiful psalm. Read through the first 9 verses, and you can see how it just builds up to a crescendo when it gets to verse 9. Well, actually, verses 8 and 9. For you have delivered my soul from death, my eyes from tears, my feet from stumbling. That's someone who's been in a really low place in their life. And I walk before the Lord in the land of the living. Such a weight's been taken off of me. It feels like I'm truly alive once more. Well, in the midst of these rainy moments, we're going to get them. We're going to get them in our lives. We do feel the love of God flow into our lives and bring us back to the land of the living. Enjoy your day. God's blessings be with you.